of pain this morning, so I decided to come live to you guys this morning to let you guys know I'm in a lot of pain this morning. I don't know how long we're going to be on here. As many of you know, I've been struggling quite a lot with my shoulder. Give me just a second. I don't know what's been going on with my shoulder, but I've been having a lot of shoulder pain nonetheless. Sorry, I'm still setting the live up. Good morning, y'all. Sorry, I'm tired. If you're wondering why I'm coming at 5 o'clock in the morning, it's because I'm in pain. I'm in pain, and I'm going to be laying down. We'll be back. Everything will be on schedule for tomorrow. I don't know what's going to go on for today, but today we're going to try to get push through the live that we were unable to do yesterday. I am in office 2, as you guys can see. I'm still in my pajamas. I'm drinking some coffee and hopefully going to entertain you guys for at least an hour if I can handle it. But I'm taking so many Aleve and ibuprofen that I went through my medical stuff from when I had my surgery, and I found some medications. So I'm going to take an anti-inflammatory and see if that can help reduce some of the pain in the shoulder. But until then, this is where it's at. This is where it's at. So good morning, everybody. Hey, Dina, it's nice to see you. I hope you're doing well. I'm just waking up, and I'm in a lot of pain this morning. So I'm just going to get this live thrown out, and then I'm going to probably take a stronger pill than Aleve. And I'm probably going to lay down just for a little bit. I've been in serious pain for weeks, and I've been trying to manage it. It's not manageable. So, oh, you're at work? Oh, good gracious. You work? Do you work throughout the night? Well, it's nice to see you. Nice to see you. We're going to be going over a few different things here. Let me get my stuff pulled back up. So this was interesting with the Brown University. If you guys didn't hear, we covered the Brown University. The Brown University was a mass casualty type of event. I have to work at 4 a.m. Oh my goodness. Well, I'm happy to entertain you at 4 a.m. We're a little late. It's 5:22 Eastern Standard Time, but that's okay. That's okay. I'm surprised anybody's even up this time of morning. I'm in excruciating pain. I even got up in the middle of the night and got an ice pack for my freaking shoulder. It's not even cold anymore. It's like needs to get back in the freezer. But I laid on this last night just to get some sleep, and I'm still in pain. I'm sick of the pain. I'm just sick of the pain. I don't know what else to say other than I'm sick of the pain. It's just it's like I think I finally got gone. And then it's like 2 days. It's like every single week I'm jacked up with my neck, and it hurts to bend my head this way. It hurts really bad down this arm here, and it hurts to bend it up this way. It doesn't hurt side to side, just up and down. And I don't know what I did to it. So I think I don't think it's. I thought it might have been a failing of surgery, but I really don't think it's the failing of surgery. I think I've just twerked my neck, something really bad putting those lights up because I was working above my head. So what did you say here? I hope you feel better. 8 hours Tylenol arthritis medication works awesome. I don't like Tylenol though, but I do like the Aleve arthritis, and I don't have the Aleve arthritis. I just got regular Aleve, which kind of sucks. But it's the same problem. It's in the same exact area. It's the same strap of muscle. And it's the one that goes from down here and stretches over like this, and it's that muscle, and I can't get it to relax. And it's like every time I turn around, it just balls up under the shoulder blade, and it's just painful, and I don't know why it's doing it. And it's been doing it since I hung the lights up, so whatever. Anyways, Brown University was a very weird mass casualty event. Some guy just opened fire, takes the VP of the Republican Party. He was heard screaming something. Many of us know Allah Akbar is usually what is screamed before shots are fired in typical issues like this. So when we heard that there was screaming going on, we wondered what it was. They're saying it was a growl. This guy's from Poland. I don't know what his religion is. Was this, was he Muslim? I don't know. I'd like to know. I'd like to know because I'm sorry. I just believe a lot of violence is coming from the left and a very specific religious element as well. The religious element has been around a lot longer than the violence from the left because we remember, let's not forget 9/11. Okay, let's not forget 9/11. These people want to see us dead. The only reason why they're here in our country, and they say it every time. If you don't believe me, go check TikTok, go check YouTube. They're here to take over, period. There's no ifs, ands, or buts about it. They've let us know exactly why they're here and what they would like to see done to this country. So, either way, this guy here is Poland. There he is, right there. This guy over here. This one is about the janitor, the custodian of the school. Apparently, the custodian, which is the guy next to him. Oops, I hit the wrong button, of course, as always. Because this phone, I don't know why they think people want to have a phone that's so sensitive that you literally move. You can't see. Okay, we're not trying to get a commercial. Trust me, you're not that lucky. So this custodian apparently saw this guy, Claudio Neves Valenti, in the building, kind of snooping around, and actually had something to say. Good morning, everyone. Don't forget to hit the thumbs up button if you guys are getting ready to go to work. So a Brown University custodian reported saying that he spotted the suspect several times in the lead up to the deadly mass shooting. The custodian said he told security twice. The custodian said that he told security about the suspicious twice prior to the shooting of December 3rd. Hey, Jenny, it's nice to see you, love bug. I hope you're doing well. Good morning. Good morning. So we have somebody that saw something and said something. Now let's look at this university. Okay, let's check out this university. Now, mind you, this university allegedly is an Ivy League. I would never send my child to this university. Parents are stupid. Okay, I can't fix the stupidity of some parents with money. Okay, just because you got money and just because you got book smarts does not make you smart. Okay, you are as dumb as a box of rocks. Okay, parents are stupid. I'm sorry, they're just stupid. So Laura, good morning. It's nice to see you. And I know we want the best education. How can we be so stupid? It's because we want the best education that we lose all common sense. This school, let's talk about this school. This school literally is charging $70-some thousand per semester, I'm pretty confident of, not per year. But I could be wrong about that. I don't know. There should be 4 semesters in a year. So, I mean, that would be $20,000 a semester seems pretty low in an Ivy League school. I mean, my semesters cost me like $5,000 because it was like $20,000. Yeah, something like that. I can't remember how much I spent on my education. I know I ponied out $10,000 or $20,000, and that was 50% because my dad paid 50% of my education as well. So, something like that. Anyways, getting off track here, but it's a very high-priced school, right? And we found out, one, that the cameras aren't working, that this major school does not have state-of-the-art equipment. And you're sending your precious, not only just your precious children, the upper echelons of our society's precious children to these Ivy League schools. And you're telling me you don't have top-notch cameras and technology on your campus to keep our children safe? And then you see the crackpot of a principal, and you know damn well that lady is a DEI hire. What the hell are you thinking? Do these universities just like taking your money and lighting a match to it and burning it right in front of you? Because that was a poor excuse for a principal. Okay, that lady did not know what the hell was going on. 6 hours. She should be fired. So should her staff. Any principal of a university that has no clue what's going on in their university is a piece of shit principal. You guys understand that, right? Like that principal does not need to be serving your children when they don't even know what's going on in their own backyard. That is an embarrassment. So not only are these people sending their children to this top-notch school, paying top-notch prices, they're literally getting Walmart services, or maybe we should say Goodwill services, right? Goodwill services for top-tier education. That is, I would be, as a parent, pissed. Pissed. I would be demanding that the principal be fired. I haven't heard any of that. I literally have not heard any of that coming from anybody. And had I been there, or my children going there, I would have been pulling them from the school. I would be demanding the principal's resignation. Like, these are your children. And if you don't even have the parents fighting for these upper echelon children, no wonder they're so screwed up. No wonder the children are so screwed up from these top tier households. You guys don't even give a crap about your own damn children. A Brown University custodian reportedly said he had spotted the suspect several times in the weeks before the deadly mass shooting that killed 2 people and injured several others. Authorities said the suspected shooter, identified as Claudio Neves Valenti, 48, opened fire December 13th on Brown campus. Now remember, this is after multiple reports from the custodian to the security. So now you have an entire security that just doesn't work. Didn't even care. This whole when you see something like this and you see how horrible it is, like, if I was the board of directors, I would fire literally everybody. Like, everybody. Everybody would be fired. The security team, the principal, the support staff, anybody that didn't know what the hell they were doing on the day that this happened, they would be fired. There's no ifs, ands, or buts about it. And here we are still playing patty cake with these people. I think our world has just gone. This would never have flew in the 90s. In the 90s, 2000s, this would have never flew. This crap didn't happen. You know why? Because we had freaking spines and backbones throughout our country. Okay? I'm sorry that men decided to neuter themselves all over the country. That's not our fault. We still need people to stand up and protect us. Even the neutered ones. So stand up. You wanted to take your own damn balls. Well, by God, we still need your service. So stand up and help. Derek Lissy, who worked as a custodian at the Brown for decades, told the Boston Globe and WPRI that he had seen the suspect multiple times and he noticed his suspicious, and voiced his suspicion to campus security prior to the shooting. Nobody cared. Nobody listened. He had been casing the place for weeks. This guy knew what he was doing. He was casing the place. Tells security, and security tells him to buzz off. What a great school. I'm so proud. If I had a Brown certificate, I don't know, I'd be probably close to burning it at this point. This is ridiculous. This is an embarrassment for an Ivy League. All their federal funding should be removed. I mean, literally. Why is federal funds going to, hey Phil, good morning. We need to be asking the question, why are federal funds going to Ivy League schools? They have enough money coming in. Why are we, the American people, putting $1 to an Ivy League school? If they can't philanthropy their way into good people and scholarships themselves with all the money that they're getting, that's not our problem. I'm sick and tired of paying taxes for Ivy League schools. They don't deserve our taxes. They don't even like us. Okay? The majority of America, these Ivy League schools thumb their nose at. So why the hell are we paying them? He saw the man wearing clothes, the suspect walking around the buildings. The shooting took place several times. Excuse me, let me read this paragraph. According to Lissy, he saw the man wearing clothes matching those of the suspect's description walking around the building where the shooting took place several times, beginning in November. I knew there was something off with him. He knew. He told security guards twice he had seen someone suspicious. One day in December, Lissy told Paper that he decided to follow the man after spotting him in the parking lot. When the man noticed Lissy, the custodian alleged the suspicious character began walking away quickly and went into a bathroom. I said, something's off with this guy, so I got to say something. They did nothing. They did nothing. I mean, we always tell people, if you see something, say something. And this person saw something, said something to security, did everything he was supposed to do. And what did security do? What they're being paid to go and make this guy's life a living hell. Why are you here on campus? Do you have a pass to be here on campus? Let's go take you to the registrar's office, get you checked in. Let's find out who you are, sir. Can I have your license and registration, or do we need to get the cops out here and have you trespassed off the property? Right? That's what they're being paid to do. And you're telling me that they stayed in a freaking the cafe eating donuts and drinking coffee? And now we have 2 people dead? The security at that school should be fired. Hey, Army vet, I hope you're doing well, love. The person at the school, the security team should be let go. The principal should be let go. The principal, 6 hours later, I don't know what's going on in that class. Ma'am, it's 6 hours later. You don't know what they were doing in that class? I don't know, she says. The fuck? Excuse my language. But are you seriously telling me that a principal of a major Ivy League school has no idea what classes are going on or what classes are in that building as the president, and she doesn't have one little stroke of the computer to find out? And this woman's getting paid $6 million a year or something like that? You've lost your damn mind. What are you parents doing? Are you trying to teach your children how to be suckers and punks before they even get out of college? I would be up there screaming at someone like, you putting my children in danger, and you're trying to justify it. No. Oh, come on, stop. I just wish this would go away. Oh, please tell me this is the spot right here. I wish this would just go away. I'm in so much pain. This is just really, really bothering me. And of course, doing the paper last night didn't help. It didn't help at all. But usually I don't have this much pain around Christmas, but I haven't stuck the lights up in years, and I decided this year I wanted lights around the house. And it's not hard. I mean, excuse me, it's not very hard. I got these little discs that go on the lights that just slide up under the drip edge. That's all they do. They just slide up under the drip edge, and they hang there. They fit up there. They give enough pressure that holds them in place. And so that's all I do. I just slide, I don't really have to do anything. I don't have to do nails. I don't have to do anything. I just have all these things. And I just slide them up under the drip edge and just install the lights up. So like in the corner, there's some that's dropping down. And I decided, since it was so close to Christmas, I wasn't going to, fix them. And I was going to get up there and fix the lights that were bad. But I've even decided against that. Like, I'm not even going to do that. When I get back up there, next time I get back up there, I'm taking them down. But I'm going to stand on the top of the ladder and work down instead of standing on a few steps up and working up. I think that was what triggered this, is just working above my head. I do not work above my head. I can search for people. I can walk. I can do all that stuff. I still hurt. My body does ache. But I'm used to that particular ache. But I haven't worked above my head in years. And I think that triggered something because, with my neck surgery and whatnot. I don't know. I've just been in a lot of pain this last part of the year. It's really been very, 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 very painful. So with Rob Reiner, I really don't have a whole lot of new information on the Rob Reiner front. If you guys know anything about Rob Reiner was a legendary producer. He is one of the liberal elites out in Hollywood. And the reason why I have to say that is because, in all fairness, I do not bode with their policies. I do not like who he is politically. I'm sorry that this happened to him. I don't have to agree with him politically to be a human and feel bad for what he and his wife went through. And I don't have to speak negatively of the dead. However, with that being said, the caveat being said, this is a Hollywood family, and you guys know how I feel about Hollywood. I think Hollywood is by far one of the most immoral places you could possibly be. I believe that they've abused their children in Hollywood. And hearing this, it just makes me wonder what happened to Nick. I'm just not, going to just dive right into everybody. Oh, Nick's the bad, crazy, child. Typically, from my experience, there's a reason why the child is like that. And usually it's something that happens to them as a child. And we hear that his starts with all of the trouble and being a troubled child happened around 15, which is right there telling me that it sounds like there is some childhood trauma going on in his life. Was that inflicted by his parents, or was that inflicted by somebody else? That's kind of where I'm at. But I feel like something happened to Nick, and I'm going to trust my gut on this because that's how I do things. When I know that I have experience in a certain area, I'm going to have to trust my gut. And this is something that I have experience in. One, I'm a recovering addict. Two, I'm a recovering addict because of my childhood trauma. Three, I've studied this stuff. I've always believed that a lot of the substance and alcohol abuse are a direct correlation to childhood traumas that we've never been able to overcome. And does that mean that everybody that's a drunk or a user has childhood trauma? I'm not willing. I'm not willing to go there yet, but a lot of them do. And so we're going to stay in that realm of people is kind of, I think, would probably be the most appropriate place to stay in the mix of this thing. But anyways, Hollywood elites, we see what they do to their children. Okay, they abuse their children. Their children are made to be whatever the trend is, right? So if the trend is transgender, right? Hollywood elites want you to chop off your what or your your uppers or your lowers, right? So these are the kind of abuse that these children go through, okay? Because they're like an accessory as opposed to being a child to these movie stars, and that's the part of it I hate, okay? These movie stars like Angelina Jolie, in my opinion, does not take care of her children. She adopted all those children just to say, oh, look what I did. But I don't believe she loves her children. I believe they're accessories. I believe she pays a lot of people to take care of those children she adopted. But one thing she doesn't do is take care of her children herself. I don't believe she does. I really don't. Does she do things with them as mommy and daddy? Of course she does. But I don't believe that she is this stellar or was this stellar mom from the very beginning. There's just something about that I just don't believe. Okay. And it's just my opinion. I don't know if that's true. I don't live in Angelina Jolie's life. But I can tell you that there's a lot of movie stars that I've watched adopt children and who are taking care of them, the nannies. They're being chauffeured around. You get an occasional shot with mommy or daddy, occasional shot. But most of those kids are out of the limelight because they're never around their parents. They're always with nannies and stuff like that. And while I do believe a lot of these high-powered and pricey nannies are very, very good at their job and show a lot of love to these children, it's not the love that they should be shown. They should be shown love from their mommies and daddies, and that's what's lacking in a lot of these. So with Rob Reiner, I don't know who he is, but because of my history, it's hard for me to dismiss the obvious that he obviously did have some things that went on in his teenage years, which tells me that he was dealing with either abuse of some sort or abandonment issues. I don't know if there was going to be a whole lot more than that. It sounds like his parents were, working, and maybe he had to stay home by himself a lot. I don't know what the situation was, but I do know that the majority of Hollywood elites, their children are screwed up. And they keep thinking it's everybody but them. Okay, whenever you look around here and you look out in society and you see a lot of people from different areas of education, different lifestyles or whatever the case may be, you see a very specific thing in any other sector of big money, right? In medical sector, you don't see kids all messed up. You see, I mean, occasionally you'll have it. Wasn't he diagnosed with but isn't that just a recent diagnosis? It's from my understanding. We're going to get to the schizophrenia. Let me put it in here. Let me see what we got. When was Rob? Oh, no. No. When was Nick Reiner diagnosed with schizophrenia? Oh, so it says he was diagnosed with schizophrenia before the parents' killing, and they said that the medication was just adjusted before the killing. There's something not right here. There's something not right here. How often do schizophrenics self-medicate with street drugs? %50 of them have a history of substance abuse too. I don't know. There's just something not right. And not only that, but schizophrenia typically doesn't start showing until later in the 20s, not necessarily 15 years old. So I have a problem with diagnoses. Typically, when somebody is diagnosed with schizophrenia as a male, is that in the 20s or is their typical diagnoses younger age? Late teens and early 20s. Does anybody know when he was diagnosed with it? Let me see the comments here. He was diagnosed, yes, and Patty Lee, you are right. He was diagnosed, and it sounds like he was diagnosed with schizophrenia before. But see, this is the problem I have. Is I'd like to know when, and this is purely because I understand this. Typically, it says he was acting off since the medication change. 20s, typically. Yes, that's what they said, 20s. But here's the thing that I have is when you have, and this is where I'm going to have problems with diagnosis. And this is where the problem with Nick and the schizophrenic diagnosis, which I'm concerned is an inaccurate diagnosis, and here's why. Now, I'm not a doctor. I want to make sure that that's very clear for people that might be coming in. I'm not a doctor, but I have a good understanding of some mental health issues. Now, when you have, especially when it comes to substance abuse, so whenever you have substance abuse, you can stay up for long periods of times, whether it's Coca-Cola, meth, whatever the case may be, especially math, you're up for days, okay? And it can create a psychosis. A psychosis is seeing things and hearing things that are not there, okay? So if you have a boy that is 15 years old, something happened to him, he is now utilizing substances so much that they have put him in substance abuse centers, I think 10 or multiple times, double-digit times from the age of 15 on, it would tell me that he might have had a psychosis where he was hearing and seeing things as opposed to that being his mental makeup and markers by himself. My daughter's friend's brother was, and she said, sent me a phone call. She recorded him. Seriously, he will kill her. It was scary. He's been put in a physical hospital. It's so sad. Oh no, I agree that there is that. But What I do have a problem with is some doctors, they're hearing, he's saying he's hearing voices, but they're not asking the questions. Is he hearing the voices during a psychosis, or is he hearing the voices when he's off the substances? And that's where my question lies, because yeah, I'm not disputing the fact that he's seeing or hearing things. But is it a drug induced psychosis that's making him do it? Because again, we've known he's had substance abuse problems since 15 years old. Is it a misdiagnosis? I'm not sure. And if it's a misdiagnosis, it might be why the schizophrenic medication's not working, because he's in a psychosis, a drug-fueled psychosis, as opposed to being schizophrenic. But in the same sense, he may not have known he was schizophrenic and may have been self-medicating, to help quiet. But I don't know how math would help quiet the brain. If you're schizophrenic, most people want to quiet the noise. I can understand the H, where you're kind of, but the uppers, the cola, and the math, I don't know. It just seems like it would aggravate the illness versus self-medicate or help with the illness. But this is interesting. So we did find out, because I was curious, because I heard that he went into, jail, and they're like, oh, he's schizophrenic. And I'm like, oh, good gracious, And so I didn't look into it past that. But I'm glad you brought it up, Patty Lee, because we did look into it. So it does sound like he has been diagnosed. Let's see if we can find out how long he's been diagnosed. Do we know how many years Nick Reiner has been diagnosed with schizophrenia? Let's hear what this has to say.
According to 3 sources with direct knowledge of the case, the 32-year-old was being treated for a serious psychiatric disorder at the time of the crime. The sources tell NBC News Reiner had been diagnosed some years ago with schizophrenia and was on medication, which had been changed or adjusted before the killings.
So he was diagnosed. Now, kids are typically, if we had to go back here, let's read this again. Let's get a good understanding of this. Hopefully I didn't get rid of it. So it says males are typically diagnosed with schizophrenia earlier than females, usually in their late teens or early 20s, while women often see onsets in their late 20s or early 30s. So I don't know if 15 is late teens. That's not considered late teens for me. 17, 18, 19, those are late teens for me. So they said some years ago, but what would have triggered the 15-year-old? Mike Stevens says 15 is mid-teens. Yeah, but it's not late teens. And they're saying that they're typically diagnosed in late teens and 20s. And they're saying that he was diagnosed later, like he was just diagnosed some years past. He's 32 years old. So some years past, even 7, that brings him to 25. That is, 25, 20, in that area. That would be ripe for his diagnoses. But we're still trying to figure out what would have triggered the substance abuse at such a young age. He was 15 years old when he started, and if he was 15 years old when it started coming out and he was going to rehabs, in my opinion, that substance abuse would have started much younger, maybe 13 or 14, before it got to the point where he could no longer control it and needed to go to rehab. And you got to think, 13, 14 years old getting involved in substances, what would push a child to do that? In my opinion, it's childhood trauma. So what triggered this childhood trauma? And can somebody truly go schizophrenic by utilizing lots of drugs? Is it possible with the use of drugs, substance abuse, you onset schizophrenic-like behaviors because of psychosis?
According to NIH, such a dysfunctional circuit may lead pre-psychotic adolescents to use substances at greater rates than other adolescents, and the substance use itself may both trigger the onset of schizophrenia and lead to continued substance use.
Interesting. Could he have triggered his own schizophrenia with the substance abuse? Yeah. Yeah, they're saying basically, yeah. Do I have ChatGPT on here? I do. Let's ask ChatGPT. Let's see what we can get. Okay. Is it possible that someone can trigger schizophrenia when they would not normally have it just because of substance abuse and triggering psychosis?
Yes, definitely. Substance abuse can indeed trigger psychosis, and in some cases, it can lead to symptoms that mimic schizophrenia. For some individuals, substance induced psychosis can become persistent, potentially leading to a longer term condition. It really depends on the individual's genetics, the substance involved, and the duration and intensity of the abuse.
I'm sorry, guys. I'm trying to. I like to play the tape through, you know. So we just don't have a problem. We have to sit here and talk it out and talk it through and see where we end up going in this. And that's kind of where I'm at with this. Is he really schizophrenic? You know, there are people that are schizophrenic. Trust me, I was with somebody in my sober living environment. This lady was schizophrenic, okay? She thought if she wore black glasses and a hat, she was invisible. And she was weird. She was an older lady, too. And she wrote on everything. She wrote that's how I can always tell. When I see a schizophrenic person, the first thing I ask is to look at their walls and their papers. And like they can't control themselves. They write all over the walls, they write all over their notebooks, they write all over, and it's like these weird formulas type of things that only they understand. It's the craziest thing I've ever seen. But I have experienced and lived in a sober living home. She was in the main home where I was. So I actually lived in the main home where she was. So I had 6 months of watching her behavior, and she was truly schizophrenic. Even when she was on her medication, she was odd. You know, she was sweet. She was a nice lady. I didn't feel threatened by her or anything like that. She was just, you know, if she had her glasses and her hat on, she was invisible. Nobody saw her. She would stand in a corner with her hats and her glasses and just listen to people's conversation, thinking nobody could see her over there in the corner. I'm serious. You know? But I can tell you, I did not feel threatened by her. I didn't feel like my life was in danger by any stretch of the imagination. Betty, my brother and cousin started abusing substances when they were in their early mid-teens, and they were both diagnosed with schizophrenia in their early 20s. Schizophrenia runs in mom's side of the family. Interesting.
Absolutely, that personal experience you shared really highlights how complex schizophrenia can be. Genetics definitely play a role, and substance abuse can certainly interact with those genetic factors. It's fascinating and also a bit challenging to see how different people can manifest the symptoms in their own unique ways. If you ever want to dive deeper into any specific aspect or compare notes, I'm here for it.
Thank you.
You're very welcome. If you have any other questions or just want to chat more about it, feel free to let me know.
I forgot we were still on. I read that out loud and ChatGPT picked it up and responded to you. Oh, good gracious. That was weird. So Texas woman, there you go. And ChatGPT responded to the message I read for you. I think it was because substance abuse messed up your mind. Yeah, it does. It does. But there are true schizophrenics. But I do know that there is substance abuse that triggers it. And I've seen some people that have literally fried their blessed brain. Fried it. Fried it. I have a friend, and my friend's son-in-law was on all types of acids and, crazy stuff. He did so much. He went from a normal human being. He did so much to being just ate up. In his adult years, he can't even function now. His brain is gone. His body is gone. He has no, he has no life. He's dependent of the state. He's in and out of mental health facilities. And it was because of all the substances he did. He was never like that as a young. It wasn't until the drugs, and they did something to him. My son was diagnosed, and a year clean now. He finally so sensitive to all stimulants, coffee, sodas, chocolate. Yeah. Yep. My grandmother and uncle were schizophrenic and never abused substances. It just runs in the family. Yep. Yep, some people's just run in the family, but I truly, for some reason, because this is the issue I have here, is we're not seeing that the Reiner family has mental illness. I haven't heard. This is the first person in their family that we've heard. Now that just because we haven't heard it doesn't mean that there's none in the family. I'd like a little more. This hurts so bad. I'd like a little more family, history, which would help a little bit. But if there's not really a lot of mental health in their family, especially schizophrenia, you got to remember, Rob Reiner had unending amounts of money. His children could buy the types of substances, the prices that we could never even. And he has to have the access to so much more. It could really fry the circuits a lot quicker than us. And little short of hearing other people have mental illness, either on his mother's side of the family or his father's, and it's my understanding that it's the father and the son that connect the strongest with the mental illness. So if the father's side of the family has mental illness, the chances of your son having those mental illnesses go up a great deal. That's what I've always understood. Even with the females, the majority of mental illness is borne by the father's side of the family as opposed to the mother. Not that the mother's that's not hereditary or passed down either. It's just, from my understanding, I've always understood it to be stronger in the father's makeup in biology than the mom's. But I could be wrong about that. I'm going off of memory. I can't. It's been a long time since I've been in college and studied this stuff. Good morning, Betty, Miss Delilah. Hey, in the coffee club. Hey, Faye, it's nice to see you. Yeah, we're up ridiculously early this morning. I wanted to get the live out because I'm in an incredible amount of pain in my shoulder. I can't bend my like that hurts so bad. It's the frontward move and the backward move. The side to side, I could do just. It's a little painful, but not as painful as the front. Like that hurts bad. And so I'm just real stiff. I've been real stiff for weeks in this area here, and it's going down in my shoulder, so it's making it hard. Making it very hard for me to use my left arm. And I'm just I've just been miserable. Since I put up the lights, I've just been miserable. I tripped something out and nothing has been right this entire holiday season. For a solid month, I've been in pain. So I'm hoping that it goes away soon, but it's gone away. I even slept on a freaking ice pack last night just to get the pain to just if it's swollen or something. Nothing's helping. I've killed out in this last month I've killed an entire bottle of ibuprofen. An entire bottle. 100 pills of ibuprofen I've went through in this month. So it's serious. I've never gone through that. There's only been one time I've ever went through that kind of over-the-counter medication, and it's when I had the injury that required my neck surgery. I've never had the problem moving my arms and all this other stuff, except whenever I had when I needed my neck surgery. So I'm just praying. Betty, did you get? I haven't done anything. I'm waiting until after the beginning of the year. I've got to try to find some insurance to get on and go, and otherwise I'm going to be paying out of pocket, which I might as well. I mean, if I don't get on insurance, I'm going to be paying out of pocket. But no matter what insurance I get on, it looks like I'm going to be paying out of pocket anyways because the deductibles are so blessed high unless you get a policy where you're paying $200 or $300 a month. I'm not paying $200 or $300 a month for insurance. I don't have it. It's $200 or $300 a month that takes away from my families. We got a lot of stuff here going on, so I just might as well pay. It sounds like I'm going to be paying out of the pocket for everything anyway, so I might as well just pay out of the pocket. So I'm going to wait until the beginning of the year. I just want to find out what's going on with my court cases before I go and start getting jacked up in the hospital, But I'm hoping that maybe I can just get a cortisone shot. Maybe that's all I need is just a cortisone shot. We'll see. Hey, Sandy, it's nice to see you. But I'm in a lot of pain, I can tell you that. Yeah, BioFreeze. I need to find my packet of BioFreeze. I got BioFreeze. But even my neck feels really stiff. I think I just have a stiff neck that's just been stiff for a while. I just need to unstiff it. I mean, I'm hoping that this is just I did something that just aggravated and this will subside, but it just doesn't feel like it's subsided at all. I mean, it goes away, but it comes right back. Schizophrenia does not specifically come from the dad's side. It's a complex disorder influenced by many factors, primarily genetics combined with environmental influences. I've had a cortisone shot in my shoulder and it helped about 6 months. I needed another one. I had one in my shoulder before, and it was several years ago, and I haven't had problems for several years. So I hope that I hope that would be the case. I was painful getting it, but it was it just hurts. I'm sick of hurting when I do this because I'm always looking down because I'm always working on my phone, and it's getting over the last month. I've got to think that it's something sprained. I just don't think something just went like that. But my mom said she did. She went to sleep one night and she had a herniated disc when she woke up. So it's possible that I have another herniated disc that happened while I was sleeping. I don't know. But getting back to this, so we've got the whole situation with the schizophrenia diagnosis, but there's a piece of me that believes that schizophrenia diagnosis was brought on by the substance abuse versus it being truly but I could be wrong. I mean, we are learning some stuff. It can be triggered. Schizophrenia, for those that don't know, you can trigger schizophrenia in yourself. Okay? We're finding that out, and it's through a lot of substance abuse use. And this is one thing that we realize is prevalent in Nick's story. So is the schizophrenia a result of the substances, or the substances a result of the schizophrenia? That's what we need to be asking ourselves. And that, I don't know if we're ever going to find out the answers, because in all fairness, Nick has been on these heavy substances for so stinking long. So every single story has the same statement that Jake and Romy Reiner made. And I don't know. If they've made any other statement. I don't think they've made any other statement publicly or through their person, because the same statement is, the same statement that he made, please respect our privacy, our parents were our best friends, yada, yada, yada. But again, it wasn't their statements made. It wasn't Romy going on her social media post and making the statement herself. It went through a person that was most likely the manager of her parents' estates, or, parents' lives, or whatever the case may be, making those statements on behalf of the children. It doesn't change the fact that I'd like to know again, Hollywood family. We know these Hollywood families are not right, okay? There are some Hollywood families that are normal, just like we are, but the majority of them are not. They're something, they got bit by the money and they just changed, okay? And it does that to people. And Rob Reiner is one of them. You cannot tell me he was a liberal back when he was making All in the Family. Cut it out. I doubt it highly. That's what Hollywood did to Rob Reiner. That's what Hollywood did to him. But I digress. So, Romy and Jake are preparing to say goodbye to their parents. I heard that there was already a funeral, but this is the memorial service that they're talking about, and their memorial service will be at a separate date. So, over 1 week after Rob and Michelle Reiner were murdered in their Los Angeles home, their children shared that they are in the midst of planning their funeral with their spokesperson. This was on December 22nd. They will be sharing information about the memorial service honoring their parents at a later date. In the meantime, the siblings are privately grieving the loss of the movie director and photographer who was fatally stabbed in the early morning hours of December 14th. According to authorities, Jake and Romy Reiner remain grateful. Their rep added for the outpouring of love and support that they have received. See, and that's it. Their rep. They have a rep. The pair whose 32-year-old brother Nick Reiner is accused of killing their mom and dad following a fight at Conan O'Brien's Christmas party on December 13th. Previously asked the public to remain respectful as they mourn. Words cannot begin to describe the unimaginable pain we are experiencing every moment of the day. Jake, 34, and Romy, 32. So it sounds like Nick was the middle child. We heard he was the older child, but it looks like Jake's the older child and Romy is the youngest. So he was the middle child. Said in December 17th statement. So it sounds like Jake and Nick were, kind of like me and my older sister, months apart, and then like almost 10 years later, maybe not even quite 10 years. What would that be? 3, 7, 5 and 7 years later, Romy was brought about. Is one of their children adopted? For whatever reason, I thought they adopted a child as well. So anyways, the words cannot describe the unimaginable pain we're experiencing every moment of the day. Jake, 34, Romy, 27, said December 17th in a statement to NBC News. The horrific and devastating loss of our parents, Rob and Michelle Reiner, is something no one should ever experience. They weren't just our parents, they were our best friends, according to their rep that made the statement on their behalf. Jake and Romy added, we now ask for respective privacy, for speculation to be tempered. See, it's the same statement over and over and over again that we heard a week ago. And they're not alone in remembering the impact Rob, 78, and Michelle, 70, made on their lives following the passing. Stand By Me actor Jerry O'Connell detailed the impression Rob had on him directing the 1986 movie. Rob was like a father to me, he said on CBS Morning, December 15th. It's surreal. Everything I have is because of Rob Reiner. It's just sad and a shocking day. A lot of people came out, including Meg Ryan, spoke out, Tracy Reiner, Meg Ryan, who else? Billy Crystal, Harry Shearer, Robin Wright, Kate Hudson, Jane Fonda, Demi Moore, Carrie Elwes, Corey Feldman, Paul Feig, I don't know how to pronounce these people's names, Zoe Deschanel, Zoe, Will Wheaton, all these people, Julia Louis-Dreyfus and Brad Hall, Quinita Brunson, Barack and Michelle Obama, but Jerry O'Connell, I like him, Norman Lear, and of course Jamie Lee Curtis, which I can't stand, and Christopher Guest. So there's a lot. He's made an impression on a lot of different movie stars from all walks of life. He was good in Legendary. All libs. He was good and Legendary at but these people weren't libs. They had to become libs in Hollywood. You would not be able to be hired without being a liberal in Hollywood. That's what they did. They bought and paid Hollywood. The deep state made it to the point where Hollywood was their bitch. And what do I mean by that? They were sponsoring them. They were the ones getting their NGOs passed through. They're the ones that made sure that they were well taken care of, even when they weren't making movies. It was the deep state that was doing that to all these movies and people, propping them up, like George Clooney and all of them. You guys don't understand. When we removed the money from PBS and all those, it was stripping money from those movie stars that have been living off the taxpayers for decades. Do you guys understand? We've been giving the lifestyle of the rich and famous the lifestyle that they're living off of our taxpayers. You guys don't believe me? Every single one of them have nonprofits. Why? That's free federal money. Free federal money that gets millions and millions and millions of dollars every single year. But we never see anything that these people really do to change America or change the world abroad. But they get all these millions of dollars in their NGOs and nonprofits. Where do they go? Oh, that's right. They go right back into the politicians' pockets when they're trying to get them elected. Love meathead. Yeah. Their careers just basically ended. Exactly. And you wonder why all of them, I mean, look at Hollywood. Hollywood's closed for business. Why is that? Why is that? Because we were paying for Hollywood. We were paying for the drugs, the sex, drugs, and rock and roll. Our taxpayer money. There's not one freaking person out in Hollywood that I want to give my taxpayer money to. I'm not sure about you, but damn sure me. I don't want to pay them for crap. Look what they're doing to their children. We're a channel that hates crime, that wants law and order, that wants to end child abuse, and we've got these hotheads out in Hollywood and other places that think their freaking children are a Gucci bag. It's sick. Who's married? Let me go up here. She didn't give up her daughter. Rob Reiner was just married to Penny Marshall, so he adopted her daughter Teresa. Okay, that explained it. I heard there was an adoption somewhere, so that makes sense. But yeah, they had a life before and a life after, and I'm sure the children from his life before are much better and well-rounded children than the children he had in his life after. So before Hollywood children and after Hollywood children, you got two different makeups of Hollywood children, right? When parents already have their children before they get rich, their children are well-rounded. When you have rich people out in Hollywood that have children in Hollywood, their children are fucked up. Yeah. I didn't realize that. Yeah. So I don't know. I'm anti-Hollywood children. Like, I think if you are a mega elite and you don't have time for your children, you shouldn't have them. Period. You shouldn't have them. These are people. These are human beings. These are they have feelings. They know when they're not feeling loved. How do you destroy an innocent child like that? What's the point in having all that money if you're just going to ruin your child's life? Like, what's the point? What's the point? All you Hollywood elites, why even have children? Why? Because I'm sick and tired. Like that one kid, somebody put out there, like Hollywood abuses children so bad. Like all these children that went to Hollywood that had promising careers, look at them. They're drug addicted. You know why? Because that's how they control you in Hollywood. They get you on, they get you here. They're nothing more than a pimp. These managers are nothing more than pimps. They want you hooked. Because if you're hooked, you're theirs. And then when they're done with you, they spit you out and you got no chance. I saw a childhood movie star living on the streets, drug addicted. His life is over. Was a cute kid in a childhood movie and frickin' on it. Like, how many more do we have to see? Do we have to witness before we realize that the predators are Hollywood? Did we really need, the Clinton files to find that out? I'm not going to call them the Epstein files. They're the Clinton files. Let's be honest. They're the Clinton files. And where's all the people demanding that the suspects that abuse these young women go to jail? They're calling for Pam Bondi to go to jail, not Bill Clinton. There's something wrong in this country. There's something wrong in this country. And anybody that supports Tom Massey after this, he's not a good dude. He's just not a good dude. And not only that, but look at him. Like, how would you feel if you were married to somebody for 20 or 30 or 40 years, and within 6 months they're married to somebody else after you died, and nobody knows how you died? I would be a little appalled as a woman that my husband, I mean, I want my husband to move on, right? I don't want him to be depressed the rest. It's 6 months, really? 20 years of service to my husband, and I'm worth 6 months. That tells me he was probably fiddling around and diddling around with another woman before his wife did. Kids do not know he was the actor in Home Alone. Oh, yeah. He's another one that was really turned out. Amanda Bynes, yep. That was bad. That was sad. Look at Britney Spears, Justin Bieber. I mean, we could just go on and on and on and on and on. And quite frankly, Diddy. I'm watching the story of Diddy. I think that the person that he was interning for, I think, turned him out, in all fairness. Because there was some spots in there that he looked like Justin Bieber at one point. And I'm thinking, wow. And he makes everybody take the test of what are you willing to do to get it? He was willing to do anything. Diddy was willing to S and F anything he could to make it. He's a deplorable, immoral piece of garbage. And I truly believe the reason why he's sitting 50 months because they know that he was the one that executed or had a hand in B.I.G.'s death. And they cannot prove it or throw him in jail. And I absolutely believe that. Do you know Biggie had to pay for his own funeral? Diddy said, oh, we're going to make his funeral so big. We're going to do this. He took all the credit of giving Diddy that funeral, giving B.I.G. that funeral, Notorious Big, that funeral, and Notorious had to pay for his own funeral in death. I do not idolize Hollywood. I may not have much, but what I got's mine, okay? And I owe nobody nothing. I can tell the whole damn world to kiss my white breaded ass and ain't nobody gonna be able to do a damn thing about it. I own my dirt. I own my dirt free and clear. Nobody's gonna come mess with my dirt. Nobody's gonna mess with me. This is my dirt, right? It may not be the best dirt in the world. It may not come with all the luxury, the luxury grass that those people, those high, lofty people have. But damn it, those weeds out there in that front yard, every last weed is mine, damn it. Every last one of them. I do not idolize them. Yeah, I don't idolize me either. But I'm not immoral and I'm not crazy, okay? That I can tell you. And I don't have to worry about getting murdered by my kids, okay? I'm just saying. I don't have to worry about murdering kids either. Just saying, you know. I mean, no matter how you want to look at it. No matter how much you want to look at it. That's AstroTurf. Don't be envious. Everything's fake in Hollywood, right? Even their grass. Hollywood life, no thanks. Once upon a time it was all about keeping up with the Joneses. I remember that was a big thing. Screw the Joneses, okay? I'm sorry. I'm a little country. I don't need all that fine dining bullshit. I just need my space, okay? Got my space and my peace. Don't be monkey effing with me. Oh, I'm in so much pain, guys. I'm in so much pain. Oh, God, this pain is just killing me today. It's killing me today. I don't know. I'll try to get some videos pushed out today. It's going to be, other lives that we did, just cutting them out and getting pieces out that you guys may have missed. Don't forget to hit those up and support that. But I'm in a lot of pain today. I'm laying in bed. I don't know what I'm going to do today. I can't stand this pain. It's literally so pain. I can turn my head just one way and it feels like the breath is pulled out of my lungs. It's that painful. It feels like a super, super, super stiff neck. If I could describe it or explain it in any terms whatsoever, that would be it. It feels like a super stiff neck. And it hurts the most leaning down. That right there is about as much as I can move my head down, and it hurts. Not too bad. I can go back further. Actually, that's better today. And so right now it's just the downward motion. The side to side doesn't hurt. The back doesn't hurt. So it's just the downward motion now. If we started this, it was the backwards motion too, but I just did that and I had no pain whatsoever. So even moving my head like that, I had no pain. So it's right there, that right there, and it hurts. This whole back strap right here hurts. I don't know. I feel like it's pulled. I feel like it's not serious. That it feels serious, but it's not serious. I'm just waiting for it just to calm down, to calm down, and I'm hoping that it will calm down. But so I guess the next question on Rob Reiner, and I guess I'm gonna have to ask you is yeah, well, I'm very concerned about the medication because you guys know me. You guys know how I feel about psychological medication. I tell you guys that all the time. Like your brain, it controls your whole body. This might be a good example of that because he just changed his medication and then he turned into a homicidal maniac. He might have a damn good case here, folks. He might have a very good case because you're talking about psychological medication that alter your brain. And if somebody gave the wrong medication and it altered the brain in the wrong way, or again, he's being diagnosed with schizophrenia, given schizophrenia medication and not being schizophrenic. Like that could be a major problem, because he could be hearing noises and voices, but not telling his doctor that when he's hearing the noises and seeing the things and hearing the voices, that he's in a drug hell-bent psychosis. When you're in a psychosis, you're up for days on Coca-Cola or meth. You're seeing things and hearing things that are not there because you haven't slept for days. You are in a full psychosis, mental psychosis. And so if you're hearing things in a mental psychosis, it's not schizophrenia. But if a doctor's not asking the right questions or evaluating the situation accurately, and he's saying he's hearing noises and he's seeing people, if the doctor's not asking, were you up for days at the time this happened? If he's not asking that, he's automatically diagnosing this man with schizophrenia and filling him up with psycho type of medication to alter his brain makeup. I just want people to understand that, okay? If he truly has schizophrenia, he truly has schizophrenia. And even if he did have schizophrenia or didn't have schizophrenia, the medication is a very big concern to me because it takes about 2 weeks, from my understanding, to have enough medication in your system for it to be effective. So whenever they do a medication change, my understanding is it takes 2 weeks to see the full effects of that medication change. And if he wasn't through the full 2 weeks, and he flipped out on his parents and unalived them, that could be attributed to the medication. And how horrible that would be. Can you imagine being mentally ill and you're struggling and your family's fighting with you and you're fighting and you're not right and things still aren't leveled off for you, and you go to your doctor and you say, hey doc, I'm still not leveled off, and they say, hey, let's try this, and you're like, oh great, let's give it a shot. And the next thing you know, you wake up and you've unalived both of your I couldn't imagine what that realization must feel like. I couldn't even begin to imagine what that realization would look like, and it being the medication's fault and you facing a homicide charge of your parents. I can't imagine that. But this is Frankenstein. This is the Frankenstein stuff. You got to be careful, in my opinion, with psychological doctors. They think they know what they're doing. And in many cases, some of them are very reputable. But I've also seen doctors diagnose children under the age of 15. And I've heard from doctors I trust tell me that they would never, ever, ever diagnose a child with certain things until after they're out of puberty. And these are things that other doctors are diagnosing these children with. And the reason why they won't, because whenever your child is growing up, they're at highs and lows, highs and lows, highs and lows, highs and lows. It's part of being raised. and people are taking their children because their children are acting like children, and they're taking them to the doctor, and the doctors are saying, oh, okay, well, let's load them up with some medication and calm them on down. And now you got, and you wonder why your child's brain's not developing. Well, maybe it's all the drugs you decided to put your child on because you didn't want your child being a child, right? Children are loud, they're disruptive, they're energetic, they run. They keep very little attention span. The way you can tell whether your child has attention span or not is put them in front of a computer or a game. If they can play a game without being distracted, they most likely don't have ADHD, okay? ADHD means you can't keep concentration. That means you cannot play a video game, okay? If you can play a video game and you're diagnosed with ADHD, I would probably go back for a second opinion, okay? Just saying. ADHD means you cannot keep your attention. Video games require what? Attention. Anyways, we got some sad cases. We tried to go over Sebastian Rogers yesterday, and it screwed up the system for some reason. I don't know why it screwed up the system, but it did screw up the system somehow. But on the either way, we are going to be doing another Sebastian Rogers case, but I don't know if we're going to do it before Christmas. I don't want to get gunky before Christmas. We need to be praying for Sebastian and his father. I'm not praying for Chris or Katie. I think they're pieces of garbage. Their behavior alone towards Seth proves that. I have nothing good to say about those pieces of shit. They don't deserve a Christmas. They don't deserve the air that they're breathing right now. They deserve to be in prison and in jail, and they're still out. I feel bad for anybody that lives in Sumner County. You are not safe there. I will tell you that right now. With the current leadership under Eric Struggles and Craddock, Sheriff Eric, aka Sheriff Struggles Craddock, right? Is not good leadership, and this case here should be his business card, right? If you have a missing child, you will not get the attention. You'll get 1 week and a big fuck you. That's the Sumner County way. So any parent that has children there, I'd be scared. I'd be scared for your children. I'd be scared for your safety, because you do not have law enforcement. You don't have law enforcement. You don't have somebody that gives a shit about your kids. Okay? Because if he cared about your kids, he would show that with the case of Sebastian. He showed no care. No care for that young boy. Maybe because he thinks he's a piece of garbage, right? He wasn't normal, right? And we know how people like Chris and obviously Eric Craddock feel about that. We know Chris thinks he's an artard, right? And an ussy with a P, right? I bet you Eric Craddock probably thinks the same way and probably shut the case down because of it, right? This kid doesn't deserve it. He wasn't normal, right? He must not be as special as everybody else. Definitely as special as his mommy and his stepdaddy. They're really good special people. They deserve to stay out and sleep in their bed, even though they abused a child. There's evidence of abuse here. But hey, we'll let them stay out and enjoy life while we twiddle our thumbs and say, this child's not worth our time, right? That's the old good Sumner County way. Now, I'm being facetious and sarcastic, of course, but it's the way it feels. It's the way it feels for me, you know? It's the way I see it. I don't see them helping in this case. I don't see them caring about this boy. I see them being more concerned about what Chris and Katie are going to say or do publicly than they are about a missing child. Like, you're scared of pieces of shit residents in your community? What are you scared of? Again, no balls, no backbones. We have a problem with balls and backbones in this country. And we see it every time we turn around. Who's got the balls and the backbone and who does not? Well, I can tell you Sumner County is a neutered place, okay? You guys speak like this, okay? Lenny Kush should be speaking like this. I'm just saying, not playing. All right, guys, rock it out with your coffee beans out. I'm in pain. I'm going to go lay down. Oh, I'm in so much pain. I'm taking something stronger than ibuprofen today, okay? I don't usually do this, but I do have something from my prior surgery. I'm praying to God. I know it's outdated, but I'm praying to God it gives me just a little bit of relief. And that's what I'm probably going to do today. I don't know what it's going to do, so I figured I'd get my live done and out before I take this medication because I might be loopy. I'm praying to God it just knocks the pain out of my my back. I got to put my ice patch back into the freezer and get this good and frozen. And I got to get my massager on here. I'm in a lot of pain. So I'm hoping I can just get through the pain just to I should have wrapped the last 3 gifts last night. I was so tuckered out. I did not have the energy to do 3 more gifts. And now I'm kind of wishing I would have, because I don't know if I'm going to get them done today. And they got to be dropped off tomorrow. So along with my eggs, I got to get the eggs done. But the cake pops are done. The cake pops are done. The cake pops are done. So I'm happy with the cake pops. Now I just got to decorate the cake pops. I got to bring all the cake pops out, get them up to room temperature, and then I got to get them drizzled, right? I got to drizzle them and get them bagged up so we have at least a nice little display over Miss Laura's of my cake pops. The cake pops are good. They turned out well. I will tell you, I do. If you are having your hand at cake pops, I tried this. I've been watching this lady I just like how she decorates her cake pops. I've been watching her for years, and she doesn't use any additives. She does box cakes, and she takes the hot cake right from the oven and into the stand mixer. Okay, she doesn't add any other whipped cream, whipped topping, or anything in them. Okay, a lot of people say that their dough falls apart. Don't add that crap in there. Okay, that they say it binds it. Don't bind it. Okay, trust me. I went straight from the oven into, while it was still steaming hot, like couldn't even hold the pan in my hand. Had to have mitts, hot, burning, scalding hot, steam coming off, into the stand mixer, right? Into the stand mixer. And then you got to mix it. And I got to tell you, I think it mixed for 5 minutes to finally dough up. I mean, it took a long time. I was like, am I doing it right? Am I doing it right? And I just kept like, this doesn't look like her stuff. So I'm like, just kept telling myself, trust the process, keep going until it looks like what you've seen on TV. Don't stop. I'm like, okay, don't stop. So I kept blending. It seemed like it took like 5 to 7 minutes to blend the cake down to make the formable dough. But I did not have to add anything to the cake. Nothing. It went from box cake mix from the oven into the stand mixer and then blended and blend. And I didn't use the dough hook and I didn't use the whisk. I used the flat, the flat like whisk looking thing, but it's flat. It doesn't have the wires on it. That's what I used. And I did that and did that. And it did make a nice mushy dough that formed. And I didn't have to add any more. And I liked it. I feel like if you add the whipped topping to it, it takes the flavor of the cake away. And I think if you're looking for that nice cake to chocolate ratio balance, then you're going to want more taste, more flavor in the dough. And I just feel like just like anything else, think about it. When you put whipped cream in anything, in your chocolate, what does it do? It tones down the chocolate flavor, does it not? So if you're wanting to tone down the flavor, then add the whipped topping. But if you're not wanting if you're wanting to have that popping flavor, you don't want to add anything to it. I would try that. I don't have the patience to make the cake. Actually, to be honest with you, it was really quick. I have the stand mixer, so I took 2 boxes. This is the way I worked it out. I got 34 cake pops out of the dough with 2 boxes. So it tells me that I get 17 cake pops per box of cake. So with 3 cake pops or 3 boxes of cake, that should make you right about 50 cake pops. Okay. So 3 boxes of cake is where you're going to want to be. Okay. You're going to want that. So I'm going to actually buy, because I like to have the nice even 50. So 3 boxes is 50, 6 boxes is 100 cake pops. Yeah, the paddle. That's it. Claudia's got it. The paddle one. Did you use egg or eggnog? I used 6 eggs in the recipe because I used 2 boxes but I didn't put eggnog in it. Now, the eggnog's for me, okay? The eggnog's for me. It's not for everybody else, okay? I'm a hoarder. of eggnog. Okay, I do not share my eggnog. Okay, Miss Laura buys eggnog for her house so I can drink it, and it stays in the back of a refrigerator. Okay, it's mine. Okay, the eggnog is mine. I take ownership of it. I love eggnog, baby pickle. You have no idea. I've gained 10 pounds this in the last month over eggnog. There is not a day that goes by that we do not have a glass of eggnog in this house during this time of the year. Last year it was the peppermint mocha, which, to be honest with you, has a lot less calories in it. Okay, I've gained pounds of weight. As soon as eggnog season is over, I'm gonna look like a freaking anorexic lady because it's gonna my weight's just gonna go zoop right off me because I don't have those calories coming in. I have just to tell you how bad the eggnog addiction is in this house, and I'm the only one that lives here. Okay, I'm the only one that drinks the eggnog. I go through a half a gallon every single week. That's about 2,000 calories or more a week that I've added to my intake. Okay, just to throw that out there. I am completely consciously aware that I have this major eggnog addiction. Okay, it's horrible. I don't know what I'm going to do. We're going to have to send me to rehab as soon as we can't buy. When we cannot buy eggnog anymore, I'm going to be here. No! I'm sorry, little girl. No! Not the eggnog, no! I saw you getting all monkey funky, so I wanted to cover your ears. No! Ow, ow, it hurts. I'm in so much pain. Pain, go away! Just go away, you son of a bitch. Ugh. My poor dog. She ended up going and sleeping on the. She went and laid down on my dirty clothes. I'm like, I couldn't find her. I'm like, because I was sitting here and I started getting a pain. I yelped, and of course she's climbing on my back, trying to see what she can do to help me. She's like, mommy. You guys see her out there in the living room last night. She's just, she's all in the business, and so I'm like, leave me alone. I didn't mean to yell at her, but I was like that because I was in a lot of pain, and she goes and jumps right on my back, and I'm like, just get out of here, I think is what I said. Just get out of here. And she jumps off the bed and goes and lays in a little circle on the dirty clothes. She didn't even take herself to the doghouse. She put herself in the dirty clothes. I felt so bad for her. I never yelp at her, but I was in so much pain I didn't mean to, and I yelped at her. And then when I saw her over there, I'm like, oh no, I put you on the dirty clothes of a bad mommy. And I'm like, come here. And she's like, I'm right here. I'm okay. I'm fine, mommy. I'm fine. I just wanted to make sure your back's okay. No, my back's not okay. It's not okay. Okay. I get like that when I'm achy. Yeah, well, she jumped right on the back, and it was like I'm just like, get out of here or something like that. I didn't mean to, it's just I nipped at her, and she did. She went off the bed, and I couldn't find her, and I'm like, where the hell's Delilah at? And I come in here, and she's just looking all pitiful. Right? What are you doing on the dirty clothes? Oh, I was so mean. I'm a bad mommy. Oh, poor baby. Hello, just joining, Betty. Go get that. Look, I know. I don't think it's a shoulder cuff surgery because this is the problem I have. See, I can move. It has nothing to do with my shoulder. It's my neck. It's a muscle to my neck because it's right there. That's where it's at. Right there. It's in the neck. I can move my elbow. I can. I'm movable. And I can move this way. It's a little bit, this way is a little tighter. I can move, ooh, that hurts. And I can move backwards like that. So it's starting to get to where it's just the frontward turning. I think it's a stiff neck. I think a disc. It might be a disc. And I already had 3 discs blow out. C5 and 6. I had 1 disc, the disc between C5 and 6. I've got a discectomy infusion there. And, my mom, I remembered when she had hers, her and I have matching, surgical scars. And hers, she was, I want to say she was 46. I think I want to say she was about my age. No, 43. When was Taylor born? No, I think it was 46. I think Taylor was born in 43, so I think it was 46. Anyways, my mom went to sleep and she just woke up and she had a herniated disc. It blew out while she was sleeping, and I'm very, very concerned that something like that happened to me. But a piece of me feels like that's not the case, because the last time when I had my shoulder, like when I had my neck surgery, I couldn't bring my hands behind my back. Like I could not snap my, do the girly thing back here, right? And I had no problems. Look at my arms. I'm pulling right up to literally between my shoulders with no pain. So whatever it is the muscle. It's got to be a muscle in the neck. I don't think it's more serious, because playing it through like that, like I can move my arms. I'm not having problems. I can put them up. This one hurts when I go just a little bit when I go back like that. But I mean, for the most part, I'm not having any problems with the actual shoulders or the cuffs. It's a muscle under the blade right here that keeps balling up like a Charlie horse back here, and it's preventing me from going down. And it's weird because when I'm like this, I can go down a little further than I could with my arms down by my side. So I think it's a muscle. I really do. I think it's a muscle. And so I've got I think I just need something to relax that muscle. So hopefully, with the patch, the heat and the cold that I'm going to put on it today might help. Yeah, I've got a heating pad, and I slept on ice last night. So this is like a gel. They also have one that's clay. I'm going to have to get the one that's clay, but they have one that's clay, and that goes in you can heat it or freeze it. And I think I'm going to get the clay one. This one, I don't know. Can I put it in the microwave? Microwave on high for 45. Oh, I can put this one in the microwave too. It says microwave on high for 45 seconds. Maybe I'll put this in the microwave. So this is one that you can heat or freeze. So maybe I'll put this in the microwave and put some heat on it today, but maybe some heat and some cold. That might do it some good. So that's kind of where I'm going to be today, but I wanted to get this live out of the way. So if you guys are on the replay crew, please don't forget to hit that thumbs up button. I'm sorry I would have come later for you guys. I'm sorry we had the show without you. It wasn't really anything. I'll be planning on our Christmas Eve party. Don't forget, we're having a Christmas Eve party here at 6:30. And this is, I don't know what we're going to really discuss. We may discuss some true crime and talk about it. Dina says alternate 15 minutes cold and heat. Then I'm going to have to order another one of these, because I'm going to have to, I only got one of these, and if we're going to alternate, and there's no way I can alternate heat and cold. So I'm going to have to buy another one of these. I'll order it. It'll be here today or tomorrow, and then I'll get to start working on it. But you're right. I probably should be alternating between the cold and the heat. I do have a heat pad, but I don't know where the heat pad is. But I feel like it's a muscle. I'm starting to feel like it's a pinched nerve or muscle versus, I don't know. I don't know what it is. I just know it's starting to drive me nuts. It's really starting to drive me nuts. You guys have never heard me. Like, you'll hear me complain once in a while about my back or my neck, but you guys have never heard me complain this much. It's really bothering me. So I don't want to go to the freaking doctor. I don't want to go to the doctor. Usually I have to be half dead to go to the freaking doctor. I ain't going to the doctor. I'm probably going to have to go to the doctor. I'm going to wait until I get the lights down. We're going to give it 2 weeks after I get the lights down off the house. And if I'm not better 2 weeks after I get the lights done off the house, then I'm going to go to the doctor. I will go and pay out of pocket. I'm going to go to Dr. Palagar and just have him inject me. Just inject me with some, whatever. Physical therapy, yeah. Now, I want something more instantaneous because I don't have insurance, and I want something that's I can just go in there, pay him $300 or $400, have him inject me with something and walk out and be done for, another 6 months to a year. That's what I want. So I'll talk to doctor. He's given me a cortisone shot before, so I'll get there. I'll get my stuff. So you should go and get a diagnosis. I already have a diagnosis. Well, I have one of the reasons why I don't do normal jobs, and I've always worked for myself, at least for the last decade, is because directly because of my back. It's one of those decisions that I had to make a decision on whether I was going to go on disability or I was going to start making a different. I couldn't do the 9 to 5 anymore because some days I just couldn't get up, right? And it's bad. You can't. It's not fair for my employer. It's not fair for the people I work for. So it just became where it was just better off that I work for myself. Then I can kind of work around this because other than that, I was going to be a dependent of the state, and I'm not doing that. I hate brown chicken. How do you look so good when you don't? I slept last night. Well, honestly, I don't know. And I don't take care of my skin either, which is crazy. And I don't really have like the wrinkles that everybody else has. I don't know why. You know what I really do believe it is? In all fairness, I don't use it very much anymore, but my whole teenage years and my upbringing, I used Mary Kay because my mom sold it. So we had Mary Kay. I maybe I need to go back to just go straight Mary Kay because that's what I look around at people like I was rough with myself. I was a smoker. I was a party animal. I was a drinker. I did terrible things to my body. So, I mean, I got a few scars. You can see the scars on my face, here and here and stuff like that. But, I did terrible things. Those scars I would not have if it wasn't for myself. But overall, I mean, wrinkle-wise, I barely have wrinkles. I mean, that's even when I'm expressive right there. Like, I don't really have a whole lot of wrinkles on I got fine lines, but I don't have a lot of wrinkles. I think it was Mary Kay, honestly. Good morning, by the way. Thank you for making me feel special when I feel like a pile of poop. I'm in so much damn pain. But it's nice. Oh, yeah. But I do. I think, I keep wondering because I never had a good skincare regimen ever. Everybody's like, you need a good skincare regimen. Like my whole face was filled with those they're like little blackheads, but they're not blackheads. I don't know what those things are called. Like in the chin and on the nose and stuff. And now I've got almost all of those gone. And I don't know how the heck I did that. And I don't do good skincare. But when I was a teenager, the only thing I ever really used was the Mary Kay moisturizer. I'd have to say that has something to do with it. But if I didn't have the scars, it'd be more beautiful. But thank you. I wish I could say the same to you, but I don't know what your face looks like. But I'm sure you got beautiful eyes. Your eyes are like 2 Olympic-sized pools of WD-40. Way back, right? Your eyes are like 2 Olympic-sized pools of WD-40, and the one where, hey baby, how you doing? You look like my ex-wife. No, I don't. Why is that? Because I look like somebody else's ex-wife, some rich ex-wife. Oh hey, PHB, did you get my email? I know you're busy. Let me see. Where's my phone? Oh, that's hurting. I didn't go nowhere. I'm about to say, I didn't go nowhere. Where's the damn phone? Let's see. think I got it. Am I in the right account? Yeah, I'm in the right account. Let me see. Hold on. Up. Hold on. This is not from you. Hold on, let me go back. Where is it? It's from a few days ago. Okay, let me look. Well, we got another one. Autistic missing 14-year-old right here. Chesterfield County. First time I'm hearing about this. Let me make sure that nobody's face. Oh, let me make sure. Let me do it this way. Yeah, well, let me get your. Make sure that your name's out. There we go. There we go. So we got this one here. I want to poke. It's not coming in very clear. And his name, let me just read this one. This is Braden Farrar, Mary Kay, and the Pink Cadillac. Yep. We never got the pink Cadillac. Never got the pink Cadillac, but my mama tried. This child disappeared December 22nd. He was last seen at Rockwood office in Midlothian, Virginia, wearing gray NASA hoodie and gray sweatpants. He was diagnosed with autism, and police believe he is on foot. So it looks like he took off from a business in the area, according to this statement. All right, let me keep going from a couple days ago. Days ago. Now, can you resend it? I'm not seeing it, Sandy. Can you resend it? And let me just. Last seen, adopted dad has not been found or any charges yet. Let's see. It's from 2007 out of New York. I'm actually looking for a cold case to start working on, because we never really did a cold case here on the Bullhorn Betty channel, and I'm looking to dive into something that's going to occupy my mind in 2020. Okay, perfect. That'd be perfect. See, when I look down and I move this shoulder, it hurts. But when I'm looking up like this, it doesn't hurt. But as soon as I do that and I move this arm, it hurts bad. It's something with the downward look. I just stopped to give you thank you. Well, you have a great day. Bless you, my child. Bless you. Sonia, did you send me this back? You should not have done that. Thank you, but you should not have done that. I'm in my account here, and I saw that come through. Oh, my shoulder hurts. All right, guys. Well, we've been on here for an hour and a half. You guys don't need to hear me complain about my shoulder. I'm going to go take something and try to lay down. If I feel better and maybe the pain's gone a little later today, maybe we'll do a regular live in the studio. But right now I'm in a lot of pain, which we should have probably figured that out after wrapping the gifts last night and me being in as much pain as I've been this holiday season. So... all right, guys. Well, we'll see you later. You guys take care. God bless. And rock it out with your coffee beans out. And we'll see you soon.